Okay, good morning, my dear students. Hope you are in good health. And in the first online class, we just did the introduction of the subject, that is mass media and communication. And we learned about the meaning of communication, the meaning of mass communication, and the meaning of mass media. We also discussed about the required skill set that you require as a student to that you are eligible or not to pursue this subject. Okay, and after that we discussed why one should take mass media and communication as a pre-professional course. We also learned about its importance, the importance of mass media, and we also covered various career prospects after taking this subject, that is mass media and communication. Well, today we'll start with a new chapter. The first chapter is communication. We are doing the first chapter, okay? That is communication. Okay, my students, your birth was a matter of great joy to your parents, right? When you was born, your parents were very happy. With the first cry, you told everyone around you that you have arrived in the world. When you were hungry, you cried, okay? When you were hungry, you cried and the mother understood it and she gave you milk. As a baby, your face told everything to your mother. She could make out from your face whether you were unwell, whether you were uncomfortable, whether you were happy, whether your tummy was full. She could make out from your facial expressions. And months later, when you first uttered the first that you uttered, that was the very joyous moment for your parents. Your mother, your father, your siblings, everyone were very happy when you first uttered the word. And you also started waving your hands. You also started saying goodbyes. You also started nodding your head. Whenever you said yes, you used to nod your head. And also for no, you used to nod your head. Then slowly you started speaking, okay? You asked questions because you wanted to know the things around you. You started questioning your mama, you started questioning your papa, you started questioning your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, everybody around you. Later, when you went to school, you learned the alphabets. Today, you can gesture, you can write, you can speak, you can express yourself, you can express your thoughts, you can express your ideas, your values, or for the purpose of this study, shall we say that today you are able to communicate with each other. But what is communication? Today you will learn what is communication, why, and how do we communicate. So the first topic is why do we communicate? Well, we live in a society. Besides ourselves, there are many other persons also living in the same society. Some may be rich, some may be poor, some may be illiterate, some may be literate. Some they stay in big houses, some stay in a small huts, but everyone they live together in a community, in a society. Well, they also belong to different religion. Like some may be Buddhist, some may be Hindu, some may be Christian, some may be Sikh, some may be Ishai. Okay, they are following different religion, and also they also belong to different communities. They may be Nepali, Bhutia, Rai, Lepcha, Limbu, Bengali. So they live in a mixed society with different religion and with different communities. But still, all of them speak or interact with one another. They have their own native language. Bhutia, they have their own language. Pradhan, they have their own Newari language. Lepcha, they also have their own language. Bengali, they speak Bengali, okay? But still, they are able to stay in a society. They are able to communicate with one another. Such interaction is essential for a society to survive. Without interaction, it is difficult for us to survive in the society. Okay, and for that we ask question also, and we get answer for the question being asked. We seek for information and we also get the information. For doing all, and we also discuss problems, okay? We face many problems in our life. We discuss our problem and we also come to a conclusion. We exchange our ideas, we exchange our thoughts, we exchange our values, we exchange our belief, we interact with each other. For doing all this, what do we use? My dear students, what do we use? We use communication. Okay, we use communication. Okay, well, imagine a situation where we are not able to speak and interact to one another. Just imagine, we are not able to speak, we are not able to interact, we are not able to express our ideas, we are not able to express our thought to one another. You can think of a family, okay? You can think of a family living in the same house, but they are not interacting with one another. They are not able to speak with one another. Such situation can create plenty of problems. Okay, so when you are not able to talk to one another, there arises a problem. When we get angry, don't we stop talking to our friends? Don't we stop talking to our parents? Don't we stop talking to our siblings? But for at least some time, okay, we stop talking to them. Soon we talk, then we discuss the matter, and then we begin normal conversation. If we do not speak to each other, then we cannot understand each other. Without speaking, understanding is not among one another. So, communication helps us to understand each other and solve problem. Okay, we can communicate, we can solve problem, we can understand each other through communication. Only this will be possible. Now we can say, why do we communicate? Okay, why do we communicate? Number one, we communicate to inform. We communicate to misinform. We communicate to conceal. We communicate to sell. We communicate to buy. We communicate to confuse. To conform. We communicate to advise. We communicate to teach. We communicate to learn, reveal, persuade, accept, affirm, clarify, motivate, criticize, deny, and also we communicate to conceal. Okay, so these are the reasons why we communicate to each another. Now let us come to another topic, that is, what is communication? What is communication? So far we have seen how do we communicate. Why do we communicate? Now let's try and define communication. But defining communication is not very easy. It means many things to many people. Unlike definition of the theory or some scientific term, communication has no definition accepted by all experts, because I already said that it means communication means many things to many people. Okay, We also know that when we convey something by words, we may say it a message. We call it a message. If you are used to your mobile phones, you would know the term SMS. SMS stands for Short Message Service. Here the messages are short sentences or just a word or just a phrase or a sentence like, I am in a meeting. Please call me at 4 p.m. It may be a word, a message, congratulations, or even the message like, see you at home. These are a short message, a short phrase, a message by only a word. For the moment, for example, okay, take a message, I am in a meeting. You just receive a message, I am in a meeting, or please call me at 4 p.m. Does it need any explanation? You send a text, please call me at 4 p.m. or I am at a meeting. Does this text, does this message need any explanation? Is the message unclear? No. This does not need any explanation because the message itself is very clear, stating that you have received a message telling, please call me at 4 p.m. That means you have to call at 4 p.m. Alright, and also you got another text, I am in a meeting. It means that someone is attending a meeting. So this clearly explains the receiver that the message is that the person is attending a meeting. So this information, the message is very clear to the person. The moment you read it, you can understand it. Suppose someone has passed an examination, you get a text, congratulations. Okay, so the person who gets the message immediately follows it. Here we can use two words, that is a message and understand. The two words are message and understand. The two words message and understand can define communication. Alright, in this regard, we can also say that communication is a message understood. We can define communication as a message understood. Let me give you another example. With a new technology that has come up, you can send message via WhatsApp, using Messenger, WeChat, Imo, etc. But the message sent through this application should be clear, should be very clear, and also must be understood by the receiver. Now for this live classes, a group has been created in WhatsApp, right? So the group is named as class 1, class 2, class 3 and so on. So whatever the message is sent by the teachers, is sent by the admin, the message sent by the student itself, the message conveyed should be very clear. And also the message must be understood by the receiver for whom the message is meant. Maybe the message may be for the students, message may be for the teachers, okay, but the message should be very clear and also should be understand. Also the receiver should understand the message. Okay, now unless a message is understood, we cannot say that communication has taken place. Let's send a message to someone else's phone. Okay, I'm giving you another example. Okay, you send a text. You send a text to a phone and the text writes, where came first. You text someone and the message is where came first. The person who gets the message who'd wonder what does it means. Does the message "where came first" make any sense? It does not make any sense. The receiver of the message just does not understand the message that has been sent. So, for a communication to take place, it has two conditions. The two conditions are there for a communication to take place. Number one is there should be a clear message. The message that has been sent has to be very clear. And the second condition is the message must be understood by the receiver for whom it is meant. Okay, so for a communication to take place, let me repeat once again. There are two conditions. Number one is the message should be clear, and the second condition is message should be understood by the receiver. The receiver should understand the message for whom it is meant, whether it is meant for the teacher, whether it is meant for the student, whether it is meant for your family member. So the message should be understood, it should be clear for whom it is meant. So there are two conditions for communication to take place. Okay, well, I already mentioned that we live in a society. We also interact with messages. Without interaction, a society cannot survive. Social interaction is through messages. So, we also can define communication as communication is social interaction through message. The first definition was communication is a message understood. Well, I'll write in the blackboard the first definition. Communication is a message understood. The first definition in a simple language is a communication is a message understood. This is the first definition in a simple language. The second one is communication is social interaction through messages. Social interaction through messages. So, communication is a social interaction through messages. I can give another example for this. If in an area there is a hoarding displayed in an area and the message written is your area is declared as a containment zone and a strict lockdown has been imposed in an area with the following criteria. Number one criteria, wearing a mask is a must. Number two, residents of this area will have to confine themselves in their homes. Number three, every entry and exit will be recorded and monitored, and so on. So these are the message that is written in the hoarding that is displayed in your area. So if this message is read by the few people, and if this few people they go and spreads the message among others who are living in the same society, then everyone will be alert. They'll be alert. They'll be aware about the message being circulated about COVID-19. All right. So this example clearly shows that communication is social interaction through messages, and without interaction a society cannot survive. Okay, it is difficult to survive without social interaction. Communication is very important and it plays a very crucial role. Now, think of telling someone, "It is very warm today," or "I am bored with the media classes." In both cases, we are communicating what we are experiencing. We are telling our experience, right? The weather being warm is what you feel or experience physically. Getting bored with the subject is a different thing or a different feeling which needs some amount of education or experience in the classroom. In both cases, we are sharing our feeling or we are sharing our experience with someone else. So we may say that communication is also sharing of experience. So another definition in simple term is communication is sharing of experiences. All right. So the three ways we can define communication in a simple term is: number one, communication is a message understood. Number two, communication is social interaction through messages. And number three, communication is sharing of experiences. So can you think of a situation, just imagine a situation where you cannot communicate with others. In a society, we need each other for various things. Unless you communicate to a doctor, will the doctor be able to know your health condition? Will the doctor be able to give you the medicine? And also, if you want to buy something, you go to a shop. You tell the seller of the goods what you are looking for. But if you don't tell the seller what you want to buy, and if you don't ask the price for the commodity that you want to purchase, he won't be able to know unless and until you communicate with the shopkeeper. You also think of a home where parents and their children, they stay at the same home, but they are unable to communicate to each other. What happens? There will be lots of problems. You think of a classroom where a teacher cannot communicate or a teacher does not interact with the student. So, the communication is therefore very essential for our survival. Communication can be broadly defined as exchange of ideas, messages, information, experiences between two or more persons through a medium in a manner that the sender and the receiver understand the message. The message should be understood by the receiver. Let me tell you that the word communication is derived from a Latin word communicare. It is derived from the Latin word communicare. This communicare is a Latin word, so communication is derived from a Latin word that is communicare, and which means to share, to impart, to participate, to exchange and transmit, and to make things common. It emphasizes on sharing common information, ideas and messages. Okay, so the definition of communication are also given by different scholars. Let me tell you few. According to Kate Davis, communication is a process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. According to another scholar, Alan Lewis, communication is the sum of all things one person does when he wants to create understanding in the mind of another. It is a bridge, okay? It is a bridge of meaning. It involves a systematic and continuous process of telling, listening and understanding. According to another scholar, that is William Newman and Charles Sumner, they define communication as an exchange of ideas, facts, opinions, emotion of two or more person. So this is the communication chapter, and this much for today, my dear students. Hope you got clear idea about communication. How do we communicate? Why do we communicate? We'll do more about communication in the next class. Thank you.